Hey everyone, so in this video, it's just going to be the pink unicorns against the faction Nightmare. I'm going straight away for attacking. I see an Aaron lead, so I lead off with my Priya team. This is because although I know Aaron gives a huge defensive and HP boost, I can't use a Mercer team because I don't need the RNG stun to begin with as much as I need the overall power from Priya. Now I did start out with having my Priya impaired, but that's not a huge problem because I have that attack up 1 impaired mod on her. So she's getting a big attack boost even when she's attacking here, and you can see that based on the damage output. So the first attack was pretty decent. Moving on to the next one, we see a Mercer lead, so I switched to my Mercer team. And it's easier using Mercer on Mercer, in my case at least, because that way I have a chance of stunning some of them, they can stun some of mine, and neither team has a defense boost or an attack boost. So I'm really relying upon Princess and Priya a lot for damage output, but having the team player weapons on both Glenn and Mercer helps out quite a bit. I always find normalizing the command tune to be really useful when I can, just because if they are unable to command and do their main function, they kind of just stand there. Most of these tunes don't have AP on their weapons, so I find them to be very ineffective. This team is a little trickier. We see an S-Class Frost, Princess, Priya, Slater, Mercer. So a bit of a tanky team because Frost is there. I got a little lucky on my Normalize as well as Taunt. I'm intentionally rushing Priya onto Frost, and you can see I did a high amount of damage there. And that's mainly because of the attack up when impaired mod again. I was able to kind of clean up, and I got a little lucky on some of my attacks, but my damage output was high enough. Another Mercer lead team. This would have been a fast rushing team, but both Doc, Princess, and Leopo were stunned to start. I don't have to worry about Slater because he ended up attacking my Mercer and he stunned himself. What I'm really liking about this attack team is that usually by the second turn I have 2 or 3 rushes that I'm able to use, and sometimes I will rush Princess and then command her so that I can normalize and taunt the other tunes that are still up. This ability really gives me a lot of control, and it's directed control because I know exactly who I'm able to taunt in that moment or normalize, because Princess, when she rushes, might be able to actually kill an enemy or two, which limits the number of tunes that are able to be taunted, meaning I can direct it and control it a bit more. Seeing a Pete lead, I go in with my Priya attack team. This is mainly because of a huge attack boost that I'm going to need. I expect a tanky team, and that's exactly what I find with Frost as well as Shiva. By having the Shiva in front of Frost, it kind of prevents Arav rushes because Arav would likely trigger Shiva's payback. I'm getting a little lucky here with some of my rushes and stuff. I'm able to rush with Mercer, and I was able to stun some tunes. I had to command rush my Priya to finish off Princess, so she did not end up rushing and taking out a majority of my team. My Princess was able to produce enough damage to at least take out Shiva and do enough damage to Frost that I could use basic attacks to take him out, and now I can just auto the end for killing Mercer. So far, I found my attacks to be pretty smooth. I am almost dead, and I'm kind of anticipating that anyway. My defense isn't that great. This is one of the only defense teams I've seen in War that have Mateo on defense, and you really need to control him early. Otherwise, he's going to be adding that 15% infection to 4 tunes, which means that you'll die if you're not able to take this team out quickly, or at least able to control it or heal. Now, I don't have a healer on my team, so I need to really focus on bringing down this team quickly and not letting Mateo use his active skill. This defensive team was kind of interesting just because with a Pete lead, I expected more ranged tunes, but to see 2 melee tunes is just kind of strange in a way. It's not what people would expect, so I'm guessing that they're trying to catch people off guard by having these other tunes in the team. As you can see with almost all my matches, whenever I use Dr. Stevens, I really focus on who is getting the AP from his rush. I'm always attacking with Priya, Mercer, or Princess first, unless I'm stunned by a Mercer and my options are limited. I'm having a really flowy war right now, and what I mean by that is I'm really identifying what I'm facing and I'm getting decent RNG to start. By having 4 stunned on the first turn, I can really take control of this match even if I have multiple tunes stunned, And I really have to say the team player that I got on Mercer just before war has been amazing. It's been so helpful because of his lack of a leadership skill. So I've been really lucky with being able to acquire that. Another Aaron team, so it's quite tanky. I know I want to stop Raven if I can to start because I don't want her to cause elusive to the team, so then I won't be able to gain AP. Even though I have Dr. Stevens to gain unnatural AP, it still would be kind of frustrating to deal with. My Mercer is attacking with a lot of power. I was able to upgrade his weapon, so it's almost completely, well, it is maxed out, but I'm missing 2% attack that I just didn't get on the craft. But that in conjunction with a team player weapon from Glenn, as well as a Priya lead, just gives him a lot of power, so he's able to actually perform kills and not just stun the enemy. Now this match was a little tricky just because I started out with multiple toons stunned, so I really need to focus and figure out how I want to approach this team. I got lucky with what toons are taunted, and I was able to taunt Frost, which opened up the playing field to me. Mercer got his stun off and applied damage to Slater as well as Princess. I knew I needed to take that line out by rushing Frost with my Priya. You can see that I output a high amount of damage. I had double attack trigger, I had rampage trigger, and I had attack up when impaired triggered. So I'm actually going to coin back in this war because it's quite a close match and I'm hitting pretty well. So I may as well use my coins in war, especially in close matches. And these are the type of wars that I find to be incredibly fun. So right now, whenever I face Angel teams, I usually use my Diego team, but I decided to try my Mercer team because if there's a chance that I could stun Angel to start, then I might have a chance at controlling her and not letting that exhaust happen. And it was just a tower anyway, so although I saw it was an Angel lead, I just didn't care enough to switch out. So I got kind of lucky there. Going back to attacking, I attack with the two toons I want to gain AP first, because then they will be the ones to get Dr. Stevens' AP because of how unnatural AP gains work. I ended up using Princess's active taunt and normalize. I was able to follow up and rush with Priya, and then also rush with Mercer, and that pretty much wrapped up the match for me. My attacking team has been very effective this war, and I've been very lucky. I would like to say that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and this is definitely not what some of the top players are running. People have auto teams at the very top. I'm just doing as best as I can with all the toons I've been able to acquire as a free-to-play player. I would like to say that Princess, Priya, and Mercer are like the key components to my attack, and in some cases my defense as well. And I would not be the type of player that I am right now if I didn't have these toons. I got a little lucky on this match where Frost brought back Shiva, and I'm still able to kind of control this match to an extent. Frost is annoying when he rushes because of his revive, but then also his 5-turn healing. And then Shiva also can recover all penalties, and she's a payback toon, so I really do need to use Princess's active skill in order to normalize her, in order to break or turn off the payback for now. At this point, I'm pretty confident in my team just beating it. It's just a matter of how long it'll take. Again, it's a very tanky defensive team, so it's a little annoying when it takes this long, but at the same time, there's nothing I can do at the moment to speed it up. It's difficult because when my toons become impaired, the only one who has an attack up 1 impaired mod is Priya, because she's the one who benefits from it the most because her attack is composed of basic attacks. So now when we're going back to this team that is a little unorthodox but also interesting, I don't see many Hollies on defenses anymore, but she is a pretty good toon. She has an elusive, rush, healing, revive, as well as she's a guardian toon, so she could be effective in some cases. I just don't know how she holds up really in the S-Class era. Again, switching over to my Mercer team, I had 5 toons resist stun on my team, so huge advantage to start off. I can really leverage my toons to begin, and I can set up my rushes even if I'm not completely successful by being able to command my princess again. I can apply that control that I used to be missing. So even when I'm not able to get the kill right away, by having kind of like a safety net, you can sometimes still recover from a failed attack. So I'm still getting pretty lucky on my stun resist. I have 3 toons that are not stunned, and I was able to take out their Priya on the first turn, mainly because Mercer does not apply any defense or HP buff. There is a 20% defense buff because this person's general is still up, but overall it just isn't too effective always running Priya on defense, and I found that myself, even though I have a Rampage Priya, because I don't have any defense or HP mods on her because I need her more for her attacking ability. So I switch out Priya on my defense team often just because I find that she can die pretty easily, especially when up against some S-class yellow toons. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and listening to my video. Big shout out to Nightmare. This was definitely a fun match to have. I got to really think about how I was attacking during this match, and I love close matches. Let me know in the comments section below how war is going for you.